Hello and welcome to my next episode of The Local Lens. I'm your host, Katrina Carmo. I'm a local realtor and I'm out interviewing businesses. I know how hard it is to struggle, have an independent business. So I'm just trying to help other businesses to connect with people and get their word out there and help them tell their story. So today I had the pleasure of meeting with Michael Cesaroni with Horizon HVAC. HVAC and systems.
HVAC,
HVAC.
HVAC. A lot of people say it differently, and some people don't even know what HVAC is.
What is it?
It's so HVAC. I didn't know what HVAC was when I first started this company, and people are like, "What do you mean you didn't know what HVAC was when you started your own company?" But I've been in construction for a while, and HVAC. When I heard it, I thought it was just ductwork. I thought it was everything that had to do with ductwork, but it's not. It's heat. It's air conditioning. Anything that has to do with warm or cold air blowing out of your vents. Mini splits, boilers, furnaces. We do maintenance on furnaces and boilers for the winter time, and we do maintenance on condensers for air conditioning in the summertime. So if you're looking for an air conditioning system, central air in your home, we're the people to call.
So you can help them all year long.
Yeah, essentially, and that's the goal, and that's one of the reasons why I started this business. I had a construction company, and we still do. It's still operating. But it's more of a want instead of a need. So I wanted to put myself in a position to where I had a company that was more of a need. And you need air conditioning. You don't need it, but once you have it, you're not going to live without it.
Right.
And you need heat. So it's especially in New England, we have those seasons where it's like this. I wanted to put myself in a position where I was kind of getting reoccurring revenue year round.
And no matter how technical we get, no matter how robotic things get, everybody needs heating and air conditioning.
Yeah, I don't think AI or Elon's robots are going to take over or be able to install mini splits. So That's not something that we worry about. And honestly, right now, the hardest worker, the guy who keeps their word, do what they say they're going to do, puts out quality work, is respectful to their customers, wears booties when they go into the house, keeps everything clean, vacuums up their mess.
That's huge.
Yeah,
that
of course.
Huge.
I mean, you could do the best job in the world. Your install can be the best out of anybody's, but if you leave a mess, that's all they're going to remember.
You're right.
That's
Absolutely.
it. And I say that out of experience. I've done it. We have gone into jobs. We've started projects to where we've left, dust behind. Or I'll give you a perfect example. We did an amazing job at this lady's bathroom. An incredible job. We installed some central air. We did some vanities. We installed a new tub. And when we went and lifted the subfloor, there was cracks in the 2x6s on the boards on the floor because it was such an old build. And the cracks went right down into the basement. When the guys went and demoed the floor to put the new floor in, a lot of the debris fell through the cracks into the basement. And it broke a table down there, a glass table. We didn't find out until the job was done. So the job was done. Job went amazing. Customer loved it, gave us a great review. And a week later, they called us and said, "Hey, my kid was just downstairs and she cut her foot on the glass table that you guys broke because you let the debris fall through the floor into the basement and didn't clean it up." I wasn't there when that happened. My guy claims that he didn't even know that it happened, which could be true. It could be not true. I don't know. But my point is, all of that hard work went out the window because of that little thing. And it's not a little thing. It's very terrible that happened.
Right.
And we really, really stay on top of things for that not to happen anymore. But that kind of stuff right there can just ruin a job.
So you're not doing the installs yourself. You're the office guy. You're the marketing, you're the business guy, you're doing the invoices, you have an installer.
Yes.
Licensed, he's been doing this for a long time.
Yeah. So his name's Mike Phillips, incredible guy, incredible partner. I think the biggest thing in a partnership is trust. And I can trust that guy with my bank account. I can trust him with my life insurance. I can trust him with the business that if anything ever happens to me, I know it's in good hands. But, that's not all the things. But he approached me, saw that what I was doing with CES Construction, saw that I had a business mind, and I really love business, which I do. I love every single aspect of it. And he had 25 years experience in HVAC. And he said, "Hey, listen, there's a lot of stuff that I don't want to do when it comes to a business. that looks like you like to do, the networking, the marketing, the relationships, the office invoicing.
That's a whole other part of the business.
There's a whole other part. And I think a lot of people don't understand that there's, in order to run a really consistent and very good business, you have to have a lot of moving parts and you have to have a good team. So his job is to be out on the road. He controls all the guys. He tells them where to go. We schedule in-house, but once he sees the schedule, he'll check up on them. He'll organize who's going what and who's doing, who's going where and who's doing what. And he's also overseeing all these projects, including being an installer. For the first 6 months of this company, it was just me and him. We bought a truck right out of the gate. A lot of our installs was me and Mike. And then we just started growing and growing to the point where I am kind of stuck in the office and on the road now. As far like last night, we were at a Chamber of Commerce meeting. It was a great networking event. So my thing is networking, business development, building that foundation of clients and our customer core and SOPs, building out our software and stuff like that.
So let's talk about your client base for a second. So what customer are you targeting? Homeowners, businesses?
Anybody.
Anyone.
Anybody.
And are you mostly focused on installations or repairs of existing units?
That's a good question. No, so it's commercial, it's residential. Of course, we want the installs. We make the most money off of installs. But we also want that reoccurring revenue, which is maintenance programs, which I highly recommend everybody watching to get involved in a maintenance program. I think it's only $39.99 a month. If you sign up with us now, I believe right now going to the busy season while we don't have our clientele base because we are a new company, I think we're doing a discount of $29.99 a month. And that includes a 2 times a year visit. So we would come out right at the end of the summer and get you ready for the winter. Take a look at your furnace, your boiler, make sure everything's running properly in order for you to go into the winter and into the cold weather so that you're not calling us at 2 a.m. saying, hey, this is happening and we need to rush a guy out there. It also includes a visit at the beginning of the summer. We check the condenser, check the coils, we clean up everything, clean all the line sets, and make sure that all of your systems are running efficient in order for you to get through a hot season. Now, things do happen. Your condenser could blow, and if you are part of our program and you are paying that monthly $29.99 a month, you are at the top of our list, and we do 24/7 maintenance calls. So if something happens at 8 o'clock at night and you have a party at 7 in the morning, whatever your situation is, your first come, first serve, you will get on right away. You will have a service tech out there immediately.
What about if you're not on that maintenance program? When I have a homeowner that's going to list a house, I usually guide them to one of the things that buyers look for is good functioning furnaces, air conditioning. Would you go out and just do like an inspection or maybe a maintenance just to make sure that it's in good working order so that they can put their house on the market?
Yeah, we do that all the time. We work with a lot of real estate agents that are in the process of selling a house, and we actually have an appointment this week. We're just doing a quick walkthrough, making sure that everything's up to par for that potential buyer.
Perfect.
Yeah. So, and then we would actually try to get that potential buyer or on board with our service program. So we usually try to do that, and that leads to just other things. Overall, in the grand scheme of things, it's my job to make sure that we're giving the best product possible, and our product is service. So we want to make sure that when we go to your house, we're treating it like you are family. Like we want to make sure that we leave with everybody having a good experience and your product working perfect. So that's what we try to do. And we work with a lot of real estate agents all the time, actually.
That's a good business.
Yep.
That's a good business. Mm-hmm. What is the best way for people to get a hold of you?
So we have Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Horizon HVAC. You can go to our website, horizonhvacinc.com. You can reach me at 401-425-9879. Just Google Horizon HVAC Rhode Island and we'll come up.
I'll put the information in the description of the video. One last question. What area do you cover? Where will you go?
We cover all of Rhode Island.
You're in Cumberland.
Yeah.
That's where our home base is.
Yeah, Cumberland, Rhode Island. We cover Cumberland. We're actually doing quite well in Cumberland. We're building a really good reputation around here. So a majority of the work is around here. But we do cover all of Rhode Island, and we go into Mass if it depends on what the job is, to be honest. We did a job out in, I think it was New Bedford not too long ago, but it made sense. It was enough for us to go out for the travel,
Right.
and for us to still be able to.
If it's an install or.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
How do you like this podcast? How's it doing? Do you like it?
I do like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's great.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
What made you get into it?
What made me get into it? For me, being a realtor, you're turning the
Yeah.
you just turned that on.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Being a realtor, it's all about making connections. It's about reaching out and meeting people and having people feel comfortable with me and get to know me and get confident in me. So by talking to businesses, I get to help them.
Yeah.
I get to help you show your business
Yeah.
and get people to hopefully work with you. And in that process, I'm making connections with you.
Yeah.
I'm making connections with the people that are watching it for you.
It's
so it helps
networking.
everybody.
It's
all about
this
connections.
is the best form of networking you can possibly get.
Yeah.
And I suggest, and I hope you keep doing it. And for everybody watching, she's probably one of the hardest workers that I've seen. If you decide to work with her, she will not stop until she gets you the best deal. I know that from experience. She will drive from here to New York if that means locking the door that one of your clients forgot to lock. I'm very happy with what you're doing, and I wish you all the success.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I also wish you success with your business. I hope it does well. And you've also got CES Construction.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about that at all?
Sure. Yeah. So CES Construction, we actually do.
He's a busy guy.
Yeah, I'd like to talk about another project we have working on too, if you'd like me to. But we have we will go into Massachusetts with CES Construction. We'll cover New Bedford. We'll cover Dartmouth because the laws are a little less lenient as far as pulling permits and like legalities. Like we're able to do more work out there. But we do anything
Well, you mean in Massachusetts than Rhode Island?
with construction.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
HVAC is tough. HVAC is tough out there. If you have to have a license for everything. So if we only have a Rhode Island license, there's if we were to do work in Massachusetts, I would have to call a company to get all the permits pulled, and he'd have to be involved in some type of way.
Okay, good.
There is ways to work around it, which is completely legal. It just costs more money. But with construction, there's the building permits are a lot less lenient, or more lenient. And so we're willing to travel a little bit further. But we do bathroom remodels, kitchen remodels, finished basements. We did do some restoration work that we started shying away from a little bit because it was just I found that working with insurance companies wasn't so pleasant. So it's something that we kind of stepped away from. And I've been doing this for 3 years now. And I'm just learning as I go. That's all we're doing is learning as much as I possibly can to make the most amount of money as I can. And I'm very transparent about that. We're in this to make money. And,
That's why we work, right?
That's why we work. So you have to try to maximize your profits in any possible way. And that's the name of the game. So if that means, doing something, going above and beyond to satisfy that customer in order for them to have a perfect experience, and you're not making as much money, it is what it is. We're in a situation right now where, there's something that a customer needs that wasn't in the contract, but it kind of, it kind of makes sense for us to do it. At the end of the day, it's not in the contract, but I'm not going to say, hey, it's not in the contract, we're not going to do it. We're going to get it done, make sure the customer's happy, and move on. And it's just a learning experience. We won't do that and get on the next one,
Learn every day.
So
let's talk about your new project. I would love to talk about it.
Yeah, so this is something very, very close to me. I am a recovering addict. I'm going on 3 years or 2.5 years or something like that. I didn't save a date. It's not something I was interested in doing. It's part of my past. I want to leave it back there. So I think putting a date on it just kind of makes it like, I don't know. So I feel like, and I've told you this many times, that I hope something comes out of this. I hope that all the bullshit that I went through, I hope there's a purpose. And the closer I got to now and the more time that passed, I realized that it has to do with helping people and helping people who were in my shoes at that, at one point. Because I think there's a lot of people out there who maybe are in that position that may not be so vocal about it, that need help. And there's some people who are very vocal about it and they're hurting their families, their friends, and ruining relationships. And, there is an answer. There is a way out, and there's a process. It takes a lot of work. So what we want to do, and we're in the process right now of step number one, is locating some property for a sober living. And we want to turn that sober living into a little bit more personal experience, not only a house that these people can go to and just live and move on to their next day. We want to actually build a village mentality type of situation to where we give them the tools to acclimate back into society. We help them rebuild their credit. We help them understand.
And you're helping them detox as well.
Right. So that would be the first step. Yeah. The first step. So again, there's a lot of moving parts, and we're working on the actual outline right now. And if I had to start over from the beginning, the first step would be the detox and rehab. That would be step number one. Step number two would be the sober home. And step number three would be a Section 8 housing, or assisting them in getting an apartment on their own. So I think
Is there anything like that around here?
I don't believe so. I know that they have.
There's kind of like pieces of it.
There's pieces of it. They don't have. There's nothing that has all three of them combined that all work together. Like, I know that for myself, when I went into a detox or a rehab, there was an option for them to help us go to a sober home, and there was an option for them to help us get into a Section 8 house. But there was no.
But you had the choice. So if you didn't choose to, you just walk away and potentially fall right back into that.
Exactly. And ultimately, it is your choice. They do have to make the decision to take that next step. But we want to build an atmosphere where they
are encouraged,
where they can grow. Because this is what it's all about. It's about growth. And when I realized that, when my brain switched from I need to get clean to I need to grow, that's when everything changed. My whole mentality changed when it was more about my self-development instead of I need to get clean so I can do this. Yeah. It's like, no, I need to work on myself. Once I work on myself and I master myself, then I can offer this to other people. Then I can offer it to the world.
And I think a lot of it is being accepted and not being judged. I mean, let's face it, nobody grows up saying, I'm going to be a drug addict. It's not something that people choose to do. They get sucked into it. So to be able to go somewhere and be accepted and welcomed and not judged and helped through the process would be huge for some people.
Yeah, and they do have that. They have rehabs, they have detoxes, but it's not personal. It's not personable. You are viewed as a number. It's very turnkey, in and out. They're very on your ass about getting to the next step so they can fill that door, which I get it, because at the end of the day, let's face it, this is also going to be a business, and I need to treat it as a business. But we're going to set ourselves up with members on our team that have best interests in other things as well. So I might be thinking business, right? But we're going to have Sheena, on the other hand, thinking, no, we need to do this for them. You need to align yourself with people that have different thought processes the entire way, because I feel like that's how
it's gonna be
real success is brought on. So right now we got a name. It's called Veterans Village, and the reason why we're calling it Veterans Village is because we want to bring in veterans that are struggling with homelessness, mental health, addiction. My beautiful girlfriend Sheena is a veteran, and we all love Sheena, and she has a special place in her heart to help veterans, because they're not getting the best treatment at the VA, and I think they're doing the best that they can.
Right.
But
their resources are limited.
The resources are very limited, so we want to try to alleviate a little bit of that, and I'm just picturing a location where one side we can hold veterans that are struggling with mental health, addiction, and the other side we can do homeless, mental health, addiction, non-veterans, and try to coincide with both of them. I'm not sure if they're going to be on the same plot. Like I said, we're still in the research and development stage right now, but we're in talks with a lot of people who have strong interests. We're talking with a lot of investors who are on board. We're just putting the foundation together right now, and I think that this is going to be a very successful project. I'm not going to stop until we get some type of movement. And again, this really means a lot to me because, I've been there. And if I can give back like this, I feel like it's the best way that I can say sorry to the people that I've hurt and along the way, because what better way to share your story with people who need it.
Yeah.
So.
And just for the record, we're going to wrap this section up because there's a lot to unpack there, but we are going to have another podcast that's going to get into the story.
Yeah.
And we'll get into
Yeah.
the nastiness of it and the details. And I think it's going to be a very raw, bare tell. We're going to get into the nitty gritty of it.
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
Nervous.
Yeah, me too.
Nervous.
Me too. I'm ready for it, but I think a lot of people that are listening right now are gonna appreciate the vulnerability because we're gonna be laying out. And listen, I just hope that it helps somebody.
Yeah.
That's it.
Can we say what our relationship is?
Yeah.
This is my son,
Yeah.
who I'm very proud of, by the way, extremely proud of, because you pulled yourself out and you're being very successful now. You've got all these different businesses going and you're determined.
Yeah.
You're determined to make something of your life. And that's very impressive.
Yeah, I think we knew that the whole time, right? Like we've always been like, including myself, I've heard it from you 100 times. Like when you decide to make that turn, something big is going to happen.
Yeah.
And, you got to want it. And I knew, I'm just lucky I didn't die, to be honest with you, because it could have happened so many times.
I thought it was.
Yeah.
Many times.
Yeah. And I need to make sure that because that didn't happen, God has a purpose for me. And I don't know what that purpose is yet.
To make it all worthwhile.
I hope so. We're in, we've been meeting so many great people that are in this space and online coaches and mental health coaches. And we're meeting so many cool people because they're hearing just glimpses of my story. I'm looking forward to getting it all out there and talking about my childhood and, my life in the streets and all the stuff that just came together to make me the person I am today. And, somebody asked me the other day if I would turn it, do it over again, if I would change anything. And I don't think I would. It's
a healthy attitude to be able to look at it, because for a while you were kind of stuck in that.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get too much into this on this podcast, but it was a blame game. It was my life because of that.
Yeah.
But to see how you've grown and learned from it and got yourself out of that mentality of being the victim and making something of your life and, making your kind of proving that you can't be successful is just been an amazing transformation for me to watch.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll wrap it up with this.
Yeah.
We had somebody on the podcast last night and they were talking about looking at a newspaper. What was it? How they were looking at something and they said, I'm going to learn this one day.
Bible.
It was the Bible. So my friend Todd, so my friend Todd, he said, I used to look at the Bible all the time and I knew that I needed to learn it. I knew that there was something in there that I needed to know. It was calling me, it was pulling me, my energy was going towards that. And it brought me back to when I would sit with Nuno, which is your father, my grandfather, and he would read the paper and he would read the stocks, right? The business page. And I used to take that business page and I used to look at the stocks. I remember actually on Plant Street at the kitchen table saying, Mom, I need to learn this. Do you remember that? No, it's okay. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I would look at it and say, I need to learn these numbers. I need to learn this. These stocks, these numbers are calling me. There's something that is, and I need to learn it. And then years go by and I'm talking with your sister's husband and I'm calling him, I need to learn this. Like, tell me about this. What's a short? What's this? What's that? And then once I learned it, I was like, all that time, that was calling me. And once I learned it, I understood. I'm like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
I want to be in business. I love the development of growing a business and being successful in something that was nothing and you turned it into something. It fascinates me, and I love business in every aspect. And we'll leave it at that. And I'm so happy that you're getting involved in this. And the podcast is awesome. You actually had a really good one with my favorite one so far was the power washing guy. He was a good guy. I'd like to meet him actually one day. I'd like to meet him. He seemed like he had a good business mind. And I'm proud of what you're doing, and just keep doing it. Keep doing it. It'll work.
Thank you. So this wraps up. It's a little longer than I usually do on my podcast, but that's okay. I'm thrilled to be able to talk about the success of these businesses and what you've done with your life, and with the amazing support of the amazing Sheena, who we all love.
Sheena, come say hi really quick. Come say hi. Come say hi.
Say hello.
Come say hi.
Be right in the center, both of
Come
you.
here. Say hi to
This is
everybody.
Sheena, Michael's girl, who we love to death. So stay tuned for the next episode with these guys, which will get into the kind of what brought us here today, how we've grown together, how scary it was at times, and just to be an inspiration for other people, and hopefully help, if we can help one person, it's all right.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. Thank you guys. Call Horizon HVAC if you need anything. Just Google us, and we'll take care of you.
And if you need a realtor, call me.
Thank you guys.
Peace out.